Here we go. All right, so let's say I'm finding the greatest common factor of 30 and 48. So I'm going to put 30 and 48 in my little upside down division house, and I'm going to divide like normal. So I'm thinking of a factor. It can be any factor that will go into both 30 and 48. So I'm going to use 6 because I know 6 will go into both of these. Remember, if you don't know what number goes into both of them, then use your divisibility rules. Start with 2. Are they both even? Yes, they are. So divide by 2. So start there. The only thing you can't use out here is a 1 because that will just give you these numbers over again. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and divide. 6 goes into 30 5 times. 6 goes into 48 8 times. So now, if 5 and 8 had a common factor, I would go again. But since 5 and 8 don't have a common factor other than 1, and remember we're not going to use 1 on the outside, then GCF is on the left. So since I only have one number on the left, GCF, or 6, is the greatest common factor of 30 and 48. All right, let's do a least common multiple one. So again, I am going to put my two numbers. Let's find the least common multiple of 10 and 6. So I'm going to put my two numbers inside my upside down division, and I'm going to think of a common number, a common factor that will go into both 10 and 6. And there's only one of them, and it is 2. They're both even numbers. And I'm going to divide. So 2 goes into 10 5 times, and I'm going to drop my 5 down here. And then 2 goes into 6 3 times. And again, if 5 and 3 had a common factor, I would add another upside down division sign and go again. But since they don't, I'm going to stop here. Now, since I'm finding least common multiple, the LCM, remember LCM is all of them. And if we circle all of them, it makes an L for LCM. And I am going to multiply all of these numbers. So I'm saying 2 times 5 times 3. So 2 times 5 gives me 10, and 10 times 3 gives me 30. So the least common multiple of 10 and 6 is 30. Okay, so that is how we find GCF and LCM. Let's talk about what we would do for word problems. So if we are reading word problems, I've got an example right here. If we're reading this word problem, so it says, Talia waters her plants every 4 days. She trims them every 10 days. She did both today. In how many days will she do both again? So this word both right here is key because both means when is the next time that they are going to meet up, and those are going to be multiples. So we are looking for the least common multiple. So anytime it says both, we are going to be looking for the least common multiple. So again, I'm going to put 4. It's hard to do this and record at the same time. 4 and 10 inside my little division house. I'm going to divide both of these by 2 because they are both even numbers. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 goes into 10 5 times. Since this is least common multiple, LCM is all of them. So I am going to multiply all of these together. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. So in how many days will she do both again? In 20 days. Okay. All right, let's look at another word problem. So right here it says hot dogs are sold in packages of 8 and hot dog buns are sold in packages of 10. What is the least number of packages of each that can be bought to make hot dogs, 1 hot dog and 1 bun with no hot dogs or buns left over? So we're looking at this keyword least right here. So I'm going to be finding the least common multiple. So I've got 8 hot dogs and 10 buns. Okay, so again, a common factor of 8 and 10 is 2. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 4 and 5 don't have a common factor, so LCM, least common LCM, is all of them. So I'm going to multiply all of these together. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. So the total number of hot dogs is 40. And then it wants us to break down packs of hot dogs. Well, hot dogs were sold in packs of 8. So my number under the 8, not the number under the 8. How many packs would we need to buy to get to 40? So 8 times what would get us to 40? And that's 5. And then buns are sold in packages of 10. And we need 40. So what times 10 would get us 40? So that would be 4. So that's how you would break that down. All right, I don't know if I have a greatest common factor example. Hold on, guys, I'm looking. Yes, I do. All right, let's look at this one. Shannon is making identical balloon arrangements for a party. She has 24 white balloons and 16 blue balloons. She wants each arrangement to have the same number of each color. What is the greatest number of arrangements that she can make if every balloon is used? So we're looking at greatest, so I'm going to be finding the greatest common factor. So again, I've got 24 and 16, so I'm going to put 24 and 16 inside of my little fraction house, upside down. And I'm going to start dividing. So what is a factor that will go into both 24 and 16? Now, I know that 8 is the greatest common factor, but let's say you don't think of 8 right away. Let's say you get 4 right away, okay? So now, 4 will go into 24. Nope, look at me. Six times, sorry about that, guys. And then 4 goes into 16 4 times. Now, this is an example where we can go again because 6 and 4 have a common factor. So we're just going to break it down again. And 2 goes into both 6 and 4. So 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 4 2 times. And since these don't have a common factor, we're done. Now, we're finding greatest common factor, so GCF, and GCF is on the left. So all the numbers on the left. So 4 is on the left and 2 is on the left of my division signs, right? So I'm going to multiply these together. So 4 times 2 gives me 8. So 8 arrangements. I'm going to show you guys just if you were doing 24 and 16 and you used 8 to begin with. I swear. Y'all. Sucks when your math teacher can't do math, huh? All right, so now we can't break this down anymore. So GCF is on the left. We'll get 8. So we could have used 2 right here to begin with and gone 3 times out. Either way, we're getting 8 as our final answer, no matter what we put on the outside here as a common factor. Okay, to begin with. Let me know if you have any questions. Your IXL skill for today, hold on, I'm looking it up, is E11. And then you have just another real quick checkup as a classwork grade on GCF and LCM. Email me if you have any questions. Love you guys. Bye.